Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we are talking about the cloud because it seems like everybody is moving to the cloud, including ISIS. That's right, ISIS has its own cloud, and here's what's going on. This is coming from the publication Homeland Security Today, because apparently an ISIS-supporting cybersecurity group launched their own cloud and chat platforms that they vowed would help churn out new propaganda and allow their followers of ISIS to basically better close ranks online. Now, this group, the Electronic Horizons Foundation, or EHF, announced this online, and I quote, "In light of recent developments in the media arena and the restriction of technology companies to content, we resorted to developing solutions that provide a space for propagation between the fellow supporters and the general Muslim community so that benefits may prevail. We developed the Horizons Cloud platform for advocates to use to upload and publish files on the internet." Now, this group also developed an element-based messaging and chat hub, and I quote, "to provide publishing rooms and continuous follow-up for news and content as an initiative to close ranks and a starting point for the development of media work, inshallah." Now, I continue, and I quote again, "Note that our technical support teams are fully prepared to guide the brothers to solve technical and security problems, inshallah. We pray to Allah to guide us to what is right and to help us against our enemies." This is basically their announcement, which was published in English, Arabic, French, and Italian, and includes links to platforms and ISIS tech support contacts on Element, XMPP, Threema, and Telegram, just in case you, as a terrorist, are having problems registering. Now, the Electronic Horizons Foundation was launched in January of 2016, essentially as an IT help desk of sorts to walk ISIS supporters through things like how to encrypt their communications and otherwise avoid detection online while coordinating with and recruiting jihadists. Now, EHF released a 24-page cybersecurity magazine for ISIS supporters last May that basically walks any jihadist through a step-by-step security for smartphones while encouraging them to use a computer instead for more secure terror-related business, and warns of quote-unquote nightmare Microsoft Windows collecting user data from geolocation to browsing history. Now, this group regularly issues cyber news, guidelines, and advisories, such as an important warning, quote-unquote, earlier this year telling supporters that, and I quote, "spies of intelligence agencies are using a new method to track down supporters through the Google Play Store," and an online tutorial intended to walk users through the registration process for the new cloud platform, which uses the German company Nextcloud software. The group includes a caution that the platform, quote, "is for uploading media files. It is not for uploading personal files." Also, they mention, and I quote, "we have no responsibility for using them in what isn't pleasing to Allah." Now, for registration, the group is basically advising ISIS supporters to, and I quote, "use a new email from Proton Mail or Tutanota services or other encrypted mail services to create an email for uploading only to the site with the use of VPN services or the Tor network." Now, new registered users were advised to go into settings and make their account data private. The tutorial also walks users through how to create files, add icons, generate a public link for a file, meaning you can send me something and I can download it if you're ISIS, and then share that on social media sites. Quote, "we recommend that users of smartphones, Android, iPhone, use the platform through the browser," according to the group. In other words, don't integrate any kind of apps that could track you. Now, files on the tutorial screen included things like the supporter's security, cyber magazines previously released by EHF, and a library of other releases from EHF as well. There's also a section for announcements where the group said it would post new updates on its cloud platform. The chat interface also promises people that they will, quote, "liberate your communication," and it also gives you options to send direct message, explore public rooms, start group chats. Basically, this is a massive social media and cloud sharing platform for ISIS. And basically, they've been around for quite some time, since 2016. And basically, EHS has also released a series of print and video tutorials covering a range from mobile security, dark web how-tos for fellow ISIS supporters, along with tech bulletins weekly to educate ISIS followers about current cybersecurity trends and vulnerabilities. To me, this screams well-funded operation. Who is sending the money? Now, what I find interesting here is that this really underscores the double-edged sword that is privacy. Much of the advice that this group is giving on encryption, using a mail service like Proton Mail, using VPNs, etc., is advice that I would give my audience, and I do give my advice for those clients or those audience members. I'd say, hey, I want an email account that's not going to track me like Google. Also, go use Proton Mail. I recommend a lot of this for privacy and security. This is the price of the privacy of freedom for the 99.99% of us, basically, versus the 0.01% in the world that are terrorists. Most of us are using this for good measure. I have a Proton Mail account, for example, because I don't want, anybody looking into it and data mining it like a Google or a Facebook. But I'm not running a terrorist organization. I'm not a criminal. And that's perfectly fine, as it's fine for you to have mail that only you can see and your recipients can see when you send them things. This is the ultimate concept of taking the bad with the good. When we basically have the same advice as ISIS, that's a problem. Also, though, I think this underscores the collective responsibility we have globally to combat ISIS in our own way, in the way that we can. So, for example, any company that was mentioned here that is offering material support to a terrorist group, unknowingly, I might add, when it is discovered, basically they should be killing these accounts. They should stop their platforms or software access immediately and public and transparently disavow it. So, for example, if ISIS is using a German-based Nextcloud, it behooves Nextcloud to contact the authorities and get guidance on either cutting off ISIS from their own platform or letting law enforcement in to track it if that's possible. So in other words, if they're on Nextcloud 1.1 and essentially 1.2 comes out, they should be denied from getting 1.2 if they're going to use that, so that security vulnerability that was found in 1.1 can be exploited by law enforcement. Now, that's not an easy step. I know that, and many judicial systems require warrants and all of that, but to be fair, that's not an easy step. But getting designated a terrorist organization by multiple nation states and the United Nations itself isn't easy. That's a tough thing to do. ISIS had to work really hard to be that evil. And so here we are. You may have a secure cloud platform, but so does ISIS. We're going to see how governments and law enforcement respond to this. But in the meantime, you can go hang out on ISIS social media, and that should be terrifying to all of us. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, everyone.